You are listening to the 90 Days Later podcast with Anna Charles, episode 162.
Welcome to the 90 Days Later podcast, where I show you how life with less alcohol is more fun than you think. I work with high achievers who struggle to drink a glass of wine without it turning into 2 bottles. I'm the one they call when they want to take it or leave it. So if you want to change your relationship with alcohol that doesn't involve counting days sober, you're in the right place.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the podcast and Happy New Year. Now, one thing I want to achieve this week is I want to give you a little taster of a 4-week program I'm currently running called Coach in Your Pocket Dry January Edition. Now, in this program, I'm teaching my clients how to drastically change their views on what it means to take a break from drinking, right? We're throwing out the whole painful old count every day until February the 1st rolls around misery. And instead I'm getting my students to learn more about themselves, understanding why they drink and what limiting beliefs and stories are holding them back. We are going to be using Dry January as the springboard to make 2025 the year when they change their relationships with alcohol. We're going to be setting off on the right foot. How this is structured: each week I'm issuing a video module that's actually composed of a number of smaller videos, and I want to give you a taste of one of these from the week 1 that has just been released. In addition to this, you get 2 live Q&A or hot seat coaching calls with me as a group, and there is a wonderful workbook to record your progress. It is not too late to join us. If you are listening to this and thinking you have missed the boat, you have not. This is, again, we are doing Dry January a little differently. It doesn't matter actually what time you start. The most important thing is to follow through and execute what we go through. So in a second, I'm going to have that come up, if the little recording. If you do want to join me, the link for that will be in the show notes. You can also find it from my bio in Instagram, and on Instagram I'm 90dayslater.co. Otherwise, you can just email me, anna@90dayslater.co, and I will send you the link. Okay. Here we go. This is one of the first mini videos from week 1. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next week if I don't see you in the program. All right, let's get started. Now, as you will see, I have chunked the videos out into small pieces. I did this on purpose. There might be elements that you want to watch more than once, other bits that you don't want to see again, or you can mix and match. So that is set up for you. So Dry January, what do we think about Dry January? Well, traditionally it's become a bit of a thing, which can help actually a lot of people, because it has normalized what's going on. It normalizes that maybe we want to take a break, and there's all these big media campaigns, and people tend to feel rather gung-ho at the beginning, even if they think it's going to be miserable. They kind of just start with, there's this frisson of excitement. We're doing something new, maybe a sense of relief. Maybe that's how you're feeling. I'm really relieved I've signed up for this training, this mini program with Anna. I feel good about this. And that's all very positive. But then what tends to happen is at some point life is going to intervene. Now, in my experience in the part of the world I live in, January is a pretty gruesome part of year, right? So it's miserable, it's rather cold, it's dark. Summer holidays are a long, long way off. The days are incredibly short. There are credit card bills. I mean, people are back at work. I mean, there's a lot of doom and gloom. There's not a lot of excitement. And there's invariably going to come a time when you'll have a bad day or something will happen, and it's like, and I'm, to cap it all, I'm doing Dry January. And whether it is the 3rd, the 6th, the 10th, the 16th, or even the 30th, there might come a point when you kind of just jack it all in. I had a client, makes me giggle. She would do Dry January every year, but she would always break it at around the 27th. No, I think it was the 27th, because a friend of hers, a good friend of hers, had a birthday then, and she couldn't possibly celebrate without alcohol. So she did dry, 27 days until we worked together, and then it was no big deal after that. So I want you to think about that. And we have a lot of evidence that that's what it's going to be like, and it's going to be miserable, and it's going to be hard. And Yes, this will not always be easy, but this is going to be different. And really, the main result I want you to get is that we're going to set a goal, we're going to set an intention. But you are going to come away from this dry January knowing so much more about you, knowing so much more about your drinking. And if you really do this, if you really leap in and follow the videos and do the workbook and do the reflection, you are going to change as a person. And that is going to change your relationship with alcohol, and it's going to open up the door to possibility where you will see that actually a different life around the wine, with or without wine, or take it or leave it, is there for you. It's completely on offer. There is going to be, as you will have seen in the blurb about this, we're going to have 2 live Q&A or hot seat coaching calls. Please do come along to them, get your questions answered. I'm here. I will answer all the questions. I don't care whether one person turns up or 100. I'm there and I'm going to stay and I will answer the questions. So do make use of me. Okay, why do dry January? I want to start there because I think why is a great question always to ask. And you might say, well, of course, so that I don't drink so much alcohol and I have a break. And yeah, taking a break can be good. Giving our bodies a rest. There's countless studies, as I'm sure you've seen, why this is a good thing. But for me, what I think the really good thing is it will give you clarity. If people say, I have no idea why I drink, my answer is always, well, stop drinking and then you will see. Right? Because then you'll see the life, you'll see the stress, you'll see the anxiety, you'll see whatever it is, the boredom, the delight, whatever that you are drinking over. You will find most likely that it's because in some part you are living a life that you don't want to live. It could be that you are saying yes to things when you want to be saying no. It could be that you're taking on too much stuff. It could be that you're in a job that you hate, right? But you've just never had the guts to change. And when we're living like that, it makes such total sense. I want you to think about this. It makes such total sense that one piece of pleasure, that moment of pleasure when we pour that glass of wine, for me it was at 6 o'clock, why that makes so much sense, right? Why that answers, it gives us relief. It gives us the relaxation because we're in a life that we're battling and that we don't want to be in. So when we remove the alcohol, we are there kind of naked in front of our lives and we have to get on with it. So we're going to be finding out a lot. You're going to be learning how you're thinking. You're going to be learning how you're feeling. And so that we can learn to figure out what we want to change in your life so that you're not fixing it with alcohol. Can you see how that happens? So I don't want you to miss out this month. I want you to really launch in feet first. There's a workbook, use it. Contains a lot of questions. There's space for journaling. If that's not enough space, grab a notebook by all means and journal away. Understand what it is, what alcohol means to you. Get to know yourself. I mean, that is just such a precious thing to get to know yourself. If you find that, for instance, you'd normally be drinking because you're stressed, why are you stressed? Where is the stress coming from? Right? Get used to asking questions. We're going to be really getting curious and asking questions rather than saying it doesn't matter what's going on. I've just got to get through the next 2 hours with not drinking and then I can go to bed and start all over again tomorrow. Right? We learn nothing by taking that approach. You'll learn things about yourself. Like, for instance, I used to be like the one who said, I don't think I did it intentionally, but this was the position I gave off to the family. I'm the one who cooks the best roast chicken. I'm the one who does the admin the best. I'm the one who tidies up the socks. I can fold the socks better. Yes, really. I have this great technique. Fold the socks better than anyone else. But of course, what happened was that was me saying, give me stuff, give me all the stuff, give me all the stuff. And then at some point, I'd feel very resentful when, of course, people would be doing the things I trained them to do. So for me, this also became about learning about boundaries and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to interact with people. It will involve perhaps you asking for help from me, for sure, in this process, but asking for help for people in your life, changing a little bit some of the stuff that you're responsible so that you can eke out some time for yourself to give yourself some self-care. So as for taking a break right now, like I say, I want you to be asking for help
We're going to be learning how to take better care of yourself. And we're going to be doing a whole lot of pausing and processing feelings. Some of you might want to run a mile at that point, but really this is a superpower. You have this power. If you tell me I don't know how to do that, it's just because you haven't learned. So we're going to be learning about that. So the awareness at the end of the month, you are going to have so much more awareness about yourself and your drinking and why you drink. And even better, you can then use that awareness to make further changes so that when the 1st of February rolls around, you will not necessarily be saying, thank goodness for that, I can have my wine again, right? You'll want to be taking on some of the things we've learned in January. So I'll see you in the next video.